this is yet another TikTok scenario. I came across a video with a gentleman who was talking about the fact that his friend had went on a date, and he felt that and the woman's friends showed up to the date, although I don't believe that the man actually knew this until the friends video went viral.
All right.
So
Play the video.
so he wait, I can't even find it. Let me type it in and see. But basically, a woman was going on a date with a guy,
Yeah.
and her friends knew that she was going on the date.
Hmm.
Woman goes on the date, minding her business on the date with the guy, and her friends decide they've got nothing better to do. So they're gonna go and spy on the date. So they go like two giggling girls, and they find where their friend is. I guess she had told them where she was, or I know people like to share their locations with their friends, so I honestly don't recall if it was that or if she told them, or if they even said. They go, they find her. They go and they sit at the bar. They knew where she was. They realized she was on they were on the wrong floor. So they go, like they make an effort to find what floor she's on. They spot her. The woman and her date do not see them. But they sit
Okay.
at the bar again. They're giggling, laughing. They're having a blast, just playing this whole thing out. They get drinks, whatever. They're there. They're taking video. So they're taking video of this man and their friend, unbeknownst to the pair, and they decide they're going to send over a drink to their friend who doesn't know they're there. But they're not going to send drinks to the table. They're only going to send drinks to their friend, to give the impression that another man sent a drink to their friend. This is what they said they were doing. So so the waitress or the waiter grabs the drink. They take it over there, and now the guy is like upset, according to what they shared after. The guy is upset because he's or rather disturbed. Who's playing with me? Like, I'm here on this date. I'm sitting here with a woman. You don't know what my situation is, yet you're sending her a drink. I can understand how a man or a woman would be confused or perturbed by it. Like, I wouldn't necessarily be mad. I wouldn't be mad at my date because they received a drink from someone else that's not of their own making. But I would probably be like, oh, okay, well, y'all don't see we're on a date. Something more along those lines.
Right.
Um, I mean, and if they send drinks to both of us, I would be like, well, then, look at us getting drinks for free, whatever. So, as I said, to back up, the way I came across this was because there was a guy who is saying that he's this man's friend, and he felt like it was messed up what her friends did. And so he was complaining, and he's like, this is why women remain single. Like, you got to be careful with your friends, because people were basically saying, him included, were saying that they didn't have her best interest at heart. And they were just, clowning around, when this actually could have been a connection between these two people. We don't know if there was a connection, nothing like that. But it has started to trend on TikTok. The women have responded. The friends basically said they don't feel bad about it. What they feel bad about is showing the man's face, because he didn't ask to be filmed. But they do not feel bad about what they did. There's also a video with the two women and the woman who was on the date, where they're all giggling and laughing and saying, oh, it's all good. Y'all, she said, y'all saying my friends don't care about me. Y'all can't take a joke, hardy har har har. So she didn't have a problem with it. She felt like, oh, it was funny, and her friends were just, doing what women do, and a lot of the reaction which they were co-signing was, oh, well, things we do to men, that sort of thing. Like, kind of like, well, men deserve, you know? And I just kind of felt like, oh, is this what the people are doing out in the streets? I mean, my friends are at home, raising children and tending to their lives. So, just not all of them, but like the tending to their lives was for anyone else who is not currently raising children. But I say that to say, like, well, we don't got time for shit like that.
Nope.
No one is looking to do anything like that. Also, maybe it's because we're old. I later found out that these women are in their late 20s. I mean, I know you do stupid stuff when you're in your 20s sometimes, but I also feel like 28 is a decent age for you to know that you don't need to crash your friend's date. But she didn't seem to mind, so maybe it's a moot point. Maybe we shouldn't even be talking about this. I don't know, but obviously it offended the man and his friend. People are saying that as far as the friend goes, why is the friend speaking and the man is not speaking? My guess is he's grown too. You know what I mean? My guess is maybe he's mature and they're not. But what do you think about this? Because I was like, are people really doing this? Is this, do you think you're going to be successful at finding men? Do you think men are going to want to go on dates with you? Because your digital footprint exists. People can find it.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to you.
Yep.
Especially a video that's trending.
Very easy.
I don't know. And maybe it's not that deep, right? Like the world is.
Oh, I totally think it's deep.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I was going to say the world is big. And maybe the way people see it is, oh, this is one guy, and the odds of all the men I encounter seeing it, unlikely. I don't know. That's a question, not really a solid statement there.
Well, when you go to the circus, usually a bunch of clowns come out of the tiny car together, and these clowns clearly roll together. And that's fine. Birds of a feather flock together. So if these corny, young-minded, immature, inconsiderate clowns think that nothing is wrong with what they did, then that's fine. But if a man did this same thing, he would be getting dragged all over the internet for it. If I was on a date and two of my boys showed up and did this same thing to a woman, oh man, forget about it. We'd all be canceled. We'd be the scum of the earth and nothing would be funny. This is a problem. The second thing is people want to walk around saying that there's piss and shit in the dating pool. Well, even when you're trying to show up to a date and mind your business, look what you have to endure. Huh?
I said, excuse my broke down glasses.
Look what you have to endure because bitches are immature. My problem is there are lots of double standards and everyone wants to complain. But let's look in the mirror and ask about our own behavior. Have I seen these three women? No. Have I seen this video? No. Do I know if these women specifically are complaining about the dating pool? No. But what I can say is There's just such a lack of consideration of other people in dating today that is gross on all sides. And why am I saying that? Because we have two extremes that get a lot of talking time on the internet. We got the women who say men ain't shit, and we got the men who say women ain't shit. And the women who want the 6'5" man who makes 100 figures or he's a bum ass nigga, and then the guys who say if women ain't got the not possible body and don't weigh a certain thing and all this other bullshit, they ain't shit. We got these two extremes, but what happens is there's this big group in the middle who's unspoken for. And some of those people in the middle are just going on dates and trying to live their life, and trash ass stuff is happening to them. I
Well,
think
no, go ahead.
I think he should sue them for defamation. Even if he makes no money, the video should be pulled down and they should have some kind of punishment. Why? Because you are filming a person without their permission, number one. Number two, you are embarrassing this man all over the internet when he did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. He showed up for a date and did what he was supposed to do based on your story. And here you are choosing to, one, be a loser ass person and follow your friend. Who the hell is doing that? And two, manipulate this man. Manipulation. Manipulate this man who just trying to show up on a date and do the right thing. So now you've embarrassed the man who was trying to take out your friend, pay for your friend to have a good time. Why? What did this man do to you? Nothing. Nothing. And these lonely booger bear bitches always want to act up. Why? 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 What is the reason for this? What is the why?
But okay, how do
Nah,
you?
because if a man did this, it would be the end of the world. Let's be honest.
Okay, I just want to be clear about something too. The people in the middle were sounding off as well, and I, I consider myself one of the people in the middle, as you discussed. I don't agree with this by any means. I don't think this is what makes you a girl's girl, or I don't. I don't even like saying that. I don't even like using those words because I feel like anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, for me, is that I think on all sides it ends up making things look worse than they are, because if people think that this is a representation of how women who are serious or want to be taken seriously behave, then they're doing those women a disservice.
Yeah, because all three of them
Um,
are trash.
so so that frustrates me because I hear what you're saying about, men and whatnot, but it also puts, women who are serious in a precarious place if
Yeah,
this is something that is happening. Now, I don't know how
yeah,
frequently this happens. I also want to give space to there is a world where, and some people said this, there is a world where you do go to check up on your friend at the date, but you don't do what they did. Now, I'm not saying that's something I do or have ever done, but I've heard people before say, "Oh, we're just gonna for safety reasons, like we're just gonna go sit at the bar. Y'all have y'all date, and then when if you once you guys part ways or whatever, we'll meet up or something like that." Or we'll just stick around until you give us the signal, you send us a text or something and say, I'm good, you guys can leave. I have heard people say that they've done things like this. I think that's not a big deal because the person you're on a date with has no idea. Also, they're not doing nonsense. It's just, I'm just here to make sure you're safe. What? Personally, I don't want people on my date. I've never gotten the urge to have people sit around nearby to watch me on my date or to be. I'm a grown woman, and I don't I don't. No, thank you. I'm not. If I feel unsafe, um, especially in a restaurant or a place like that, there are
Plenty of
there are
exits.
usually options in a public place if I feel unsafe. Um, I don't want to get too far into that because everybody's situations and circumstances are different. Um, this was just weird to me. This was very, like you said, young minded. And they were actually like
They doubled
scratching
down.
scratching back at people who were like, this is corny and this is immature.
Grow the
And
fuck up.
but there were also people who were saying the same thing, like, oh, somebody said, God forbid women have a good time. And I was like, is that what this is?
At
Okay.
the expense of a man. But if it was the other way around, what would happen?
I think all of it would be wrong.
And going on a date is the good time, right? Like going on the date is supposed to be the good time, not you manipulating a man and playing with a man's emotions. Not that's not supposed to be the good time.
And
Because
especially
when men manipulate women, it goes viral for the other reasons. We're pieces of shit. We're worthless. We're why you shouldn't be dating. Stop.
yeah, and I don't think a lot of people are encouraging these women. I don't think there are that many people saying, "Oh, y'all are good. Like y'all didn't do anything wrong." I think there are an ample amount of people who reacted to this and were like, "This is shady."
It's corny.
Also, also one of the things that a common theme, and there's actually a lot of videos of people stitching this and giving their opinion, but a common theme is people saying those people are not your friends.
No.
If they're going to do that without your knowledge and ruin your date, if you will, or make for a difficult date, why would you want them to be friends? Like it's almost like, do they not want to see you succeed with a man,
Right.
which is a whole other thing.
Because misery loves company.
Right. Right. I don't know. And I happened to come across, I didn't realize at the time, but I happened to come across another video a couple days later, and I realized that it was one of the women who did the spying. She seems very intelligent and very very put together in her normal life. I was like, then why would you do this? Why would you do this? Because I wouldn't have expected that, and maybe I'm getting into respectability politics here, but I was just like, oh, what, you you did this? Why? What do you have to gain from this?
They did it because there's no consequence. That's why. There's nothing that's gonna happen to these women. And that's why I said I wish he could sue them.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean,
Because if three men did this to a woman, it'd be the end of the world. They'd be quote unquote canceled. Fuck them.
okay.